update, and well, depending on how it is you have been seeing this India England series so far, and how it is you could potentially see the series shaping up, could be a biggie because flash breaking news update for you guys. Jasprit Bumrah could very well be rested for the fourth test of the series that is set to take place at Ranchi. Now, of course, it does corroborate with previous reports that have been doing the rounds, wherein it was said that the fourth test was always going to be the target to give Jasprit Bumrah a bit of workload management to ensure that he doesn't, let's say, fall susceptible to injuries. Because again, you're always going to look to be resting him at some point during the Test series. Because after the Test series, you have a few days break. You've got the IPL. You know for a fact he's going to be playing all of the IPL games for the Mumbai Indians, and straight thereafter you have the T20 World Cup, which will be taking place few days later. The only good thing is that you have a fit Bumrah. The bad thing is that I'm not really sure about the timing, but we'll go over the logic and see how exactly it is, or why it is that the board came to such a call, or why it's potentially mulling giving Bumrah some rest. Now, India 2-1 up in the series, one test win away from sealing the series. And you would say that in theory the best thing that you could do is potentially win the test at Ranchi. Then with the series 3-1 done and dusted, you give Bumrah a rest at Dharamshala, and then that gives him an elongated rest, because again there is a gap between the fourth test and the fifth test, so it gives him about 20 odd days really. Because if he's not playing the test match, then he can go back, get some rest, then get into IPL mode, which is of course is going to be coming up from, let's say, this particular it's going to be coming from March itself. So there is of course a major, let's say, conundrum that the Indian team finds itself in. But the call that they are taking is going to be, let's say, that they will look to rest him now, and then they will only, let's say, they will look to give him some rest for the fourth test, then bring him back for the fifth. Although, if we are to believe the reports that are doing the rounds, there is as of yet no real clarity if Bumrah will even play in the fifth test or not. But it is, let's say, outcome dependent on the fourth test. So if, for instance, India lose the fourth test and then you're in a must-win situation going into Dharamshala, I think it's safe to say that Bumrah plays. If India can win without Bumrah, then you might well not see Bumrah in the test series at all after this point in time. And of course, it is, let's say, I don't know how exactly to put it. It's a bit of a risk because again, you haven't won the series yet, and I know, yes, you definitely have put a few mental scars on England. But as far as cold hard numbers are concerned, they're still very much in the series. Would it perhaps be the best time to do it now? Maybe the team management feels that you could be reaching a point wherein, let's say, they're not necessarily going to be, he's reaching the red zone, let's say, because again, he has bowled nearly 81 overs in the three test matches, and there's no doubting the fact that he has perhaps been India's most effective bowler through the series, effective and most consistent, and you needed to rest him at some point. But maybe doing it for the Dharamshala test would make more sense rather than doing it in the middle of the series at Ranchi. As for who exactly could be his replacement, I doubt that the team management will necessarily look to bring in a replacement. There's enough pacers already. Mukesh Kumar was released from the squad to go play Ranji Trophy cricket. You have an Akashdeep on the bench as well, so they're not short of options, but none of them can match the kind of game-changing ability that a Bumrah brings. In fact, pretty much no bowler in India can do that, with the exception of maybe to an extent a Mohammad Shami. Siraj also in patches, definitely. But as a lot of people are pointing out in the comments, sports fan being one of them, that without a Bumrah, maybe the pace attack might look not as potent, not as lethal. It's definitely a possibility, but this seems to be the way that the team management is going. It does seem like you're going to be heading to a situation wherein you are going to be, without Bumrah for the fourth test. Pavan Venkat, to answer your question, there is no update on Mohammad Shami just yet, and it doesn't look like he's going to be fit for this test series at all. There's not a chance. In fact, I think the likeliest you're going to see Shami back in action would be for the IPL. If he's not back in action by then, well, you're in a little bit of trouble, because again, you have a T20 World Cup coming up. You'd want him to be part of it, given the impact that he had in the last ICC tournament that India played. So no update on Shami, but we did bring you a pretty huge update on Jasprit Bumrah. So you could potentially be without Bumrah for the fourth test at Ranchi, and maybe, just maybe, for the fifth test at Dharamshala as well, depending on what the result is at Ranchi. If India win at Ranchi, I don't think you're seeing Bumrah in the test series again. If India somehow contrive to lose at Ranchi, then Bumrah is back for Dharamshala. So that's the breaking news update. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you enjoy our work, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment, tell us your thoughts on, in fact, the entire matter. Do you think Bumrah should be rested at all? Do you think he should be rested for the fourth test, fifth test? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget to download the Sports Stick app. Last but not least, stay tuned. Plenty more coming your way. For now, from my side, though, it is goodbye.